political events, asking questions at city council meetings regarding Sue Montgomery's unethical behavior, and reminding Sue Montgomery that she falsely accused me of libel, and that she needs to withdraw that false accusation. So there's nothing there that constitutes criminal harassment. Peaceful public protest is not criminal harassment. Asking questions at city council meetings is not criminal harassment. And reasonably politely reminding someone that they falsely accused you of libel and that you expect them to correct that situation is not criminal harassment either. But nonetheless, Sue was able to somehow persuade the SPVM to have me arrested for alleged criminal harassment on the basis of those complaints. And a Crown prosecutor somehow thought it'd be worthwhile actually bringing those charges against me, even though the chances of obtaining conviction are pretty well zero. And none of the described behavior in the complaint can be reasonably construed as actual criminal harassment. So it's just a total cock-up by the SPVM and the Crown prosecutors, once again misusing the Canadian Criminal Code to try and shut down a legitimate, peaceful public protest against such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, certain Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers, and the occasional lay person such as Richard Buell of First Parish Norwell. I'm just going to check the camera again, make sure we're still recording here. Okay, yeah, we're up to almost 20 minutes. So this is a pretty long spiel, but I just want to make it clear that since police officers from SPVM PDQ 11, that's the Service de Police de Ville de Montréal, Poste de Quartier Ols, have repeatedly interfered in my ability to protest against Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse and attempts to cover up and hide clergy abuse, such as suppressing my protest, that I've decided to protest here in front of PDQ 11 instead of in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. I will be consulting with my lawyer later this week because I want to get clear written reassurances that I actually can protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. I mean, I've had verbal assurance from my lawyer that I can do it and not fear arrest, and he's verbally assured me that the previous Crown prosecutor told him that it was okay, that I wasn't prohibited from protesting. But you know, I want that in writing is what it comes down to. I want clear 100% assurances in writing that I can protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal before resuming my protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. And I do intend to resume it. I didn't mention that I suspended my protest voluntarily going back to August, even late July. As I said, my lawyer was able to get the Unitarian Church of Montreal completely removed from the conditions, so I was allowed to resume my protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal February 19th last year, and I did resume it soon afterwards. And I should add that on March 18th specifically of 2018 last year, Sue Montgomery actually directly confronted me and tried to provoke me into breaching my conditions by communicating directly with her, and essentially tried to get me arrested for breaching conditions by deliberately provoking me. Thankfully, and I will say this, you know, the SPVM officers from PDQ 11, they aren't all bad. Some of them are actually quite competent and professional and reasonable and polite and so on. And thankfully on this occasion, the two police officers who did intervene, who answered Sue Montgomery's complaint that I was breaching conditions, they did detain me. They then did an investigation on the spot to determine whether or not I was breaching my conditions, and they determined that I was not breaching my conditions. So they did their job properly in that instance. I have no complaints about how they handled that particular complaint to the police by Sue Montgomery. I think they handled it in a professional manner that respected my rights, and they were quite polite about it too. So zero complaints about that particular intervention from SPVM PDQ 11 police officers on March 18th of 2018. But unfortunately, there have been previous interventions by SPVM cops from PDQ 11, not to mention PDQ 12, that absolutely were not professional, and that definitely did not respect my rights, and that definitely did suppress my ability to protest. In fact, on one occasion I had my picket signs illegally seized and destroyed by officers from SPVM PDQ 11. That goes back to 2005, give or take a year if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2004, 2005, a couple of aggressive police officers from SPVM PDQ 11. Essentially, I won't go into all the details, but they seized my picket signs and destroyed them because I refused to voluntarily shut down my protest. And there's been other occasions, as I've said. So until such a time as I feel safe to protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal without being arrested on bogus criminal charges by PDQ 11 cops, I will protest in front of PDQ 11. So it's all right, sir. His camera's running. You just walk by, or you can go behind it if you want. You know. Just a little protest here. Protest is about the fact that SPVM police officers are suppressing my right to display these picket signs in a peaceful public protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal. Since I can't protest in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, I'm protesting in front of the police station.
Because they cover pedophilie act, that's why. I don't know.
Ok, vous parlez français? Ok. En français, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? C'est que l'Église unitarienne universaliste, c'est une petite église américaine, mais ils ont l'église unitarienne de Montréal sur de Maisonneuve, proche à Claremont. Le bureau chef à Boston, en 2012, ils m'ont faussement accusé de violer la loi anti-blasphème du Canada. Moi, j'ai fait des blog posts concernant la pédophilie et viol commis par les pasteurs de l'église, et ils ont voulu m'intimider de me faire retirer les blog posts. Alors, il m'a accusé de violer la loi anti-blasphème du Canada. J'ai même pas su qu'il y avait une loi anti-blasphème, mais c'est ça qu'ils ont dit. Et à cause de ça, je manifeste évidemment contre cet abus de la loi, anti-blasphème du Canada. Mais je suis ici parce que l'SPVM m'a arrêté pour harcèlement criminel de Sue Montgomery, la mairesse de Côte-Neige Notre-Dame-de-Grâce. Elle est membre de l'Église et elle essaie d'écraser mon manif et elle a porté plainte contre moi. Elle a dit que moi je suis coupable de harcèlement criminel contre elle parce que j'ai fait des manifs, etc. Oui. Alors à cause de ça, des conditions ont été imposées sur moi, des conditions de ne pas être à l'Église unitarienne de Montréal, etc. Mon avocat était capable d'enlever cette provision-là, mais sous à réinsérer cette chose. Alors,
donc, tu n'aurais pas le droit de protester contre les autres, de dire qu'ils ont fait des actes de pédophilie parce que les autres t'empêchent.
C'est ça, exact. Et l'SPVM est avec ça. Voilà. OK, merci beaucoup, monsieur. Ça m'a donné une chance d'expliquer les choses en français aussi. Bonne journée. Well, that's nice. That got all recorded in French. So, essentially what happened, you didn't see the gentleman because he saw that I was filming myself and he didn't particularly want to be in front of the camera, but he read my picket signs, he read them carefully. It turned out he was francophone and perhaps didn't understand English all that well, but he understood the basics of the sign, and so I explained it to him in French. I explained what this protest is about in French, and I'm glad that happened because, you know, I almost considered doing a bilingual protest so that it can be understood in French as well. and he helped me out with that. I think we're going to wrap this up. We're coming to the end of the recording time available, half-hour recording time. I think that's plenty of time to protest here. I noticed that the police officers from PDQ 11 have not interfered in this protest. They have to know I'm protesting because they've driven by a couple of times, so it's almost impossible that they don't know that I'm protesting. And they very wisely, in my opinion I should say, decided not to, bother me while I'm protesting here, which I think is a very wise decision. And I would ask SPVM PDQ 11 officers and SPVM officers more generally to stop interfering in my ability to protest against Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse and Unitarian Universalist cover-up and denial of clergy abuse in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal or any other Unitarian church or any other place anywhere. I have a constitutionally guaranteed civil right to freedom of opinion, freedom of expression. That includes the right to protest against clergy abuse committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers, the right to protest against the cover-up and denial of clergy abuse by Unitarian Universalist church leaders. And as far as I'm concerned, you